Good morning, Marian University friends and donors. I greet you from Marian University on a beautiful spring morning. I thought I would shoot this video out here in a beautiful colonnade. Many of you, thankfully, were so supportive of redoing this garden, and it's such an important part of the Marian University community. A lot of students study here, pray here, reflect here. And of course, many years we had our commencement out here, so a lot of you are very familiar with it. And we love this place. I wanted to share a couple of reflections. It's Holy Week. We're given a lot to prayer and thought about the passion of Jesus Christ, the foundation of faith of our university. We're also in the middle of a pandemic, which you well know, and you've been so supportive, and I thank you to bring Marian where it is today to get through this pandemic. It's really a time of great hope. And I say that because our Christian faith doesn't tell us everything we want to know. We'd like to know why a germ can cause all this calamity, why a virus. We'll never know all that. But we know everything we need to know through this pandemic and the passion of Jesus. In John's Gospel, there's three great phrases in that Gospel and the passion of Jesus. And they are, Jesus says, I am. Peter says, I am not. And Jesus says, I thirst. And then they gave him some inexpensive wine, and he gave himself over to the Spirit. So during this time of dealing with a pandemic, the isolation it brings, we become more acquainted to who we are not, and what we thirst for, and giving ourselves over to the Spirit. The Marian community is an academic community. Our academic pursuits, research, teaching, learning, serving are all illumined by the light of faith. We are working out of a Christian, very Catholic perspective. The intellectual tradition, the teachings illumine everything we do that motivates us. St. Peter in the Gospel, when asked him, aren't you a follower of Jesus? He says, I am not. Just denying that he was. During a time like this of Holy Week and during the pandemic when we're isolated, I suppose all of us have had a lot of thoughts of what is not all that important to us that we pursued when we had total freedom for every social occasion and doing what we want, and times even 6 feet apart or more with our grandchildren or children or friends were easy to come by, and we often didn't take enough time to concentrate, enjoy a smile of a grandchild or a friend. Or as an academic community, I miss the students so much here. It's just so boring without them. But to see them light up about learning and excitement and achievement, what a joy. Now, what do we really thirst for? What matters? It's one another, it's community, it's our faith. It's in service to others we find the great joy and hope. The time of the passion, the time of a pandemic are really about hope. Will we understand our faith tell us everything we want to know? But it will tell us everything we need to know if we pay attention. Thank you for your support. In the coming days, we'll be having a lot of special needs for our students financially and otherwise to serve them well. We're working really hard to keep their academic experience on par, even though it's online and distance learning. We're working very hard for them. We'll have very specific needs in their incoming class and continuation students, and we'll continue to partner with you to make sure we follow through on who we are, making sure we're available to everybody who wants this really special education, to stay on track of who we are not, to make sure that we're always paying attention to relationships, learning, excellent teaching, service, and leadership. And we'll always give ourselves over to this mission and our spirit and what we're really called to do. With your help and together, Marian University is a tremendous influence in the world. I'm very thankful during this Holy Week and being aware during this pandemic and being isolated and working less together in person but still working hard, how much we thirst to do God's work with your help and partnership. Thank you for all you do. Have a wonderful Holy Week, and may we all come out of this pandemic more certain than ever exactly who we are, what we are not, who we are not, and what we thirst for. Thank you, and God bless.